Okay, officially, welcome everyone that's watching us through the web, everyone present here, everyone in the spiritual plane. So, as usual, every Saturday here at the Spirit Society of Baltimore, we spend some time together sharing one of those, teachings, topics that we have in spiritism. So today, let me share here my screen. You don't realize that. So today, we were inspired to talk about gratefulness and life. Do you know why? why are we going to talk about gratefulness, about gratitude? Why? Thanksgiving is coming. Yes, yes. And and um, and here in America, it's considered one of the most important holidays, right? Um, the Independence Day, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. So it is a day that they say that in terms of traveling, the road, the airport is the most busier, um, um, activities that we have in those places. So, and we can try to understand why it's so important talking about gratitude, right? And what we're gonna do here tonight is not go to the historical aspect of gratitude, because we all know what it means to be grateful, right? And also to be ungrateful, right? So we know both way. So what we wanted to bring tonight is just a reflection upon the teachings that we have learned in Spiritism, and also through science, how important it is to be grateful. And is this action, this behave that we are invited to do, has any impact in our lives, in our health, for example? So we're gonna see some of the what the expert says, and also what we have learned with Spiritism. So this scientist, in fact, he's a psychologist, Robert Emmons. He's a professor, so I'm going to read about his biography, his title, very soon. But he says something in one of his books. Gratitude is literally one of the few things that can measurably change people's life. So the action to be grateful can change someone's life. Daniel, how come? We're going to see it. Okay. And so for those who is this guy? Wow, he's a very important guy. He's the world's leading scientific expert in gratitude. He is a professor of psychology at the University of California in Davis and cities of Davis, and the founding editor-in-chief of the Journal of Positive Psychology. He is the author of the books, and the titles over there, Thanks, How the New Science of Gratitude Can Make You Happier, Gratitude Works, a 21 days program for creating emotional prosperity, and also the other book that's called The Little Books of Gratitude. So he is the guy to go if you wanted to learn about gratitude. So he has several books. If you go to YouTube or Google, you're gonna see that he's all over the place, right? So for someone to say this, it's not like, oh, I think that. No, there is research behind of this topic. He researched people that is grateful, people that, have that type of behavior that not only is grateful, but also is charitable. And he could measure the lifestyle of those people compared to those that are not, right? So, and through his clinical psychology, clinical therapeutic session, he observed that. So he's someone that has the authority to talk about the subject, and we are here sharing his finding, right? So, but in the spiritist arena, we have our dear Joanna de Angelis spirit, right? And she says in her books, all who are grateful who truly understand the significance of real gratitude enjoy physical, emotional, and psychological health, content, and sharing things. So, who are you? So, what is your feeling when you give a gift to someone? Like when the person really opened that smile. How do you feel? And give that hug to you and jump, you know. Once I remember, like back probably what 7, 8 years ago, when I gave the first cell phone. I know that's a material thing, right? When I gave the first cell phone to my daughter, and so she has been asking, and I said, no, it's too expensive. The one that you want, just keep the cheaper one. But she was so persistent, and I said, okay, let's make a deal. Let's see how your grade's gonna be in school, you know. So we make that, um, deal with her, and then we observe, like, you know the first report card and the second one. It's okay, she's doing good, she's really working for that. And also, like, I remember that we say, okay, beside the grades, you need to do your bedroom, you need to take care of your bedroom, your bathroom. So show that you deserve that, right? Of course, we as a parent, main um, um, our main objective is to educate our children, at least, not only by saying, but also by behaving. So, and without she expected, so one day my wife and I would say, okay, let us surprise her. And I never forget. So I went to the store, I got the device, I drove home. I didn't park. I parked in front of the house, and I called her and said, hey, can you come here outside? And she came, and she thought that she was in trouble, right? Because why he's doing that, right? And when she came to the car, so I remember that I said, oh, okay, I have something, open this bag. And she opened and she saw it. And I said, okay, so it's yours. And the jump and the smile and the hugs that I had in that day was like, I know that I'm talking here about material things, right? But we start from that until we reach a point that we don't need to have material things to feel grateful. And she was so grateful, and she was like, so, you know, that feeling, definitely release a lot of, you know, um, good emotions and substance in her physiology that make her happy, and we felt happy as well, right? So why we saying this? Because also, when we take the opportunity, when we receive those type of input, make us continue doing that, right? The opposite is not so so true, right? But for those that may ask, who is Joana de Angeli? So Joana de Angeli is known as a spirit author and guide of the Brazilian spiritist medium Divaldo Franco. She has authored more than 60 works through to the psychography of Divaldo Franco. 16 of those books comprise the Spiritist psychological series, and one of them that she wrote is called The Psychology of Gratitude. So imagine someone write a book only about gratitude, right? And Kirsten, she gave some talks here based on that book in the past, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. And so we have the book in English. Um, and it's amazing that we just think that the word gratitude is just something simple, but can bring so much consequence. When we express gratitude, the same way that ingratitude also can bring a lot of harmful feelings, right? So, question, what are we grateful or thankful for? So when we ask this question, what the first thing that comes to our mind, and for those that were last Sunday in Paula's house, we experienced that. We experienced that moment to be that we share among us what we are grateful, right? And so majority of the answer is about health, about our home, our family, friends, food, you know, shelter, right? Why we say that? Why we answer those questions? Why? It's just a rhetorical question. I can give my input because it's the basic need. So we as a human being, the first thing we cover is the basic need. So we wanted to feel protected. We wanted to feel in a safe environment. So, and to be protected and to be in a safe environment, we need to have basic foods or food needs, right? Not basic food, basic needs. You know? So health, well, because you may have family, friends, but your health is not there, so you are not feel completed, right? And vice versa. We may have good health, but if we don't have friends, relationship, right? So that's thing that we as a human being, we are social beings. So we need to have that. We need to have this community here. We need to have a place that we can go and worship God. Although we can do this in our home. But why we need to go to church, where we need to go to spirit center, because it's embedded on us. The feeling that we need embedded on us is embedded on us. This feeling that we need to belong to something bigger than only our single life, right? That's very important for us. So I'm not gonna ask you guys here, but I know that everybody here is grateful, is thankful for something beyond those basic needs, right? Or you wanna share anything that comes to your mind that is not this 5 basic thing here that we always say that we're grateful. We have a microphone in the back if you wanted to, so Agnes can share. Do you feel like share something about be grateful? Don't feel pressure. Okay? Okay, so people that's watching us online also can type in the chat and can share your gratitude feeling with all others that are watching as well. Okay, let us move on. So the title of this conversation is Gratefulness and Life. What is life? We have, for those that are in our study group on Thursday, that we have very deep discussion about spiritism. We have discussed about life, right? When we studied the Genesis, now we are studying the Spirit's book, part 2 of the Spirit's book, the Spirit, what is life? We are just going through this part right now. Life is what? Agnes, you want to say something? Well, there is a question in the Spirit's book, and we're going to bring here what the Spirit mentioned about life. Because if we ask scientists, science doesn't know what life is. We have just one idea what life is, the organic life, right? Plants, animals, we, our body. But this material body here, without the intelligent principle or the spirit, is nothing, right? So when we make the transition, the body is dead. So by using this rationale, we may come to a conclusion that there is an element that is very important that connects the spirit and matter to make matter alive. Or for us to define what it is life in the planet Earth. Life in this planet Earth, biologically speaking, is the organic life, right? True or false? Okay, good. So what the Spirit says, question 6.3 of the Spirit's book. Kardec was asking about the elements. Okay, I'm gonna take this before you guys read it. Kardec was talking about the elements of the universe. And the Spirit answered that there are 2 main elements of the universe. The spiritual principle, or the intelligent principle, and the material principle. And from the intelligent principle, by evolution, one day we graduate and become a spirit. From the material principle, by evolution or combination of the elements, is going to become matter, visible matter, the one that we can see, and quintessential matter, that the one that we cannot see, right? So, and then the Spirit said, but in order for the Spirit to manifest physically in the physical plane, we need a third element. And he called this vital fluid, right? And this, not vital fluid, universal fluid or cosmic fluid, right? So that's the definition. And a subpart of this, the universal fluid, we have what they call the vital principle, the vital principle, right? The vital principle. So, vital fluid, yeah, it's the same. So, when Kardec asked the question, what is this agent, the vital fluid, and what is life? And the answer is life is an effect produced by the action of this agent, the vital principle, upon matter. However, without matter, the agent is not life, just as matter cannot be alive without the agent. The vital principle gives life to all beings that absorb and assimilate it. So, in another word, a science is not yet able to make life from scratch. We can clone, we can manipulate the genes, we can, you know, let's not think about the human research, let's think about plants. All the modification that we can do it nowadays. In the animal kingdom as well. We see how many breeds of dogs we have, right? Because of the mix of, and the genetic modification that we can do it. Because we are what? The intelligent beings of the creation. Imagine God creates the universe, create inside of the universe there is one element that he called the intelligent beings of the universe. So we are entitled to co-create. So we are co-creators. That is the creator, that is the creation, and you can co-create by using our intelligence, right? Some people use the intelligence for other things. Okay, so now going back to gratitude. So why we wanted to give this information about life, because we don't know what is life. We know what's organic life. That's why the scientists and NASA and all the astronomy, they trying to find life in other planets by what? By deduction, right? They try to identify what type of chemical elements they have over there that is the same type of elements that we have here. And if there is water, so there is carbon, there is oxygen. Because if we find this element by deduction, then we can say, okay, there is a possibility of have life. So we are looking for the wrong thing. We are looking for organic life. Are we gonna find? I don't know. Maybe, But according to the spirits, life has different form, depends of the planet that spirit is inhabitant, right? So, but since we are the intelligent being of the creation, we need to put our mind to work. And that's why we are here today in this living room, not living room, but this suite, this place with AC. Now it's not AC, it's heater, right? Because it's cold outside, electricity, computer, image here. Things that 200 years ago, nobody would imagine, right? So the same way today that we are foreseeing, we go out of the planet Earth, explore the extraterrestrial environment. So all of this because we have our intelligence, right? And with this intelligence, we can make life much better, right? Much better. So in this book, The Psychology of Gratitude, Joanna Jung, and we got some of those information about gratitude, right? She says, and it's just like quotes, the signs of gratitude emerge as the highest expression of the individual's psychological maturity, which propels one to experience ennobled feelings. Love is manifested at this stage through the desire to serve, to contribute, to gratify. And then she continues. So, first of all, psychological maturity. What is this psychological maturity? So she's saying that when we, according to science, when we exercise gratitude, this will bring us to become more mature, psychologically speaking. And through this, love will manifest in a different level, right? So what is to be psychological maturity? Mature, not mature, it's mature, right? What is that? Can you give an example of that? Maybe know how to control your emotion, good one, and realize about other people's emotion. Wow, very good. Thank you, Wanda. What else? Consciousness about awareness. This is awareness. Is be aware of, about, yeah. What else? Emotion intelligence. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, there is different level. I'm not a psychologist. Paula is not here today, so I wish maybe she's watching us, Paula. You can drop your comment on the chat windows over there. But yeah, no, that's true. Emotion intelligence. But there is different levels of emotion, different levels of intelligence, right? So when we talk about maturity, we are expecting that the person is in a level of wisdom, right? Like, for example, maybe we can, when we look at our behavior when we were, a teenager, and look at now, we definitely can see that we mature, right? Because if we are put before a situation that if we were like probably 30 years, 40 years young, I'm talking about myself, okay, not about you guys. So maybe we're gonna freak out. And nowadays, when we are put in front of that same situation, we just like observe, analyze, investigate, and solve, right? Instead, disparate, right? So yeah, so psychological maturity here means that you are able to uh, be in a situation and evaluate the situation, process the situation, and solve without lose control, right? People that has that ability to not hit situation, keeping keep cool, like really behave well, and the other does not, like they lost completely, right? And I mean, like we do this sometime. We depends of the stage emotionally that we are living. We may aggravate or we may solve a situation in a very calm and using our psychological maturity, right? So yeah, and if we do this, we are taking control of ourselves. We are taking control of our behavior. When we say we, I'm talking about the spirit that controls the body, right? So yeah, we are to make this clear. So, and she continued by saying another quote: "When one expresses love, the cerebral cortex promotes an organic feeling of well-being that amplifies the possibilities for development of the self, which then leads to health." Um, so we see here that there is a influence in our physiology, right? So he talked about, cerebral cortex, the organic feeling of well-being, right? And also the possibility for developing the self. The self here is you, your true color, you as a spirit, right? Not the persona, not that type of personality that we show just to cover ourselves. And this will lead us to health. Um, she also says gratitude is one of the deepest and most significant feelings because it is not limited to the act of usual reward. It is even greater because it brings satisfaction and has a psychotherapeutic character. So many times we may be grateful, thankful because we are expecting something. And in the process of becoming psychologically mature, that's fine. Because we have that hidden agenda sometimes, right? And because we don't know yet, we are not yet fully mature to express true gratitude, right? And since we are evolving, we go through those processes, right? And when she says here that when we have this true gratitude, we don't need to expecting reward. We don't need to expect, what the other people is gonna say. Even if the person is not grateful, we are centered with our, ourself, and we move on, right? Then she says, to thank the good that comes as well, the evil that did not happen. That's very important, right? Sometimes we don't know that the situation could be worse, right? So, and sometimes, even if we feel tired, for a trip, for example, right? So we need to be thankful because we don't know what could have happened, right? And we were like spared for that experience. But she says, and when it's occurring to do the same, since it only happen what is necessary for the process of spiritual growth to occur, as programmed by the law of cause and effect. So why she says that? Because many times things happen. Daniel, I'm a grateful person. I do everything right, but why I have a body that is sick? Why, you know, because there is other elements, there is other component in this equation here. We are talking about behavior, about manifest gratitude that is not connected to our previous action that we still need to make amendment. And then it's go a little bit deeper because one may look at the life of Francisco Cândido Xavier, Chico Xavier, the amount of disease he had, but he was a joyful person. He was grateful. He will never see. I mean, he was a human being. He was not perfect, but his deed, his action, is like go. I mean, speak louder, right? Than the other type of behavior that he had that was not expressed to the public, right? But there is the element that relate to that life that we don't know. There are elements that is based on the law of cause and effect. We don't know the previous life, right? And there is a case that ophthalmologist approached him and wanted to do a surgery in his eyes because he has a problem to see it. And he didn't allow to. But a spirit like Chico Xavier has had a knowledge about himself, about some of the action that was done in the past life, that he needs to go through that experience. And he was not, how do you say the word in English? Upset with God or rebellious, because there is people that cannot accept the situation that they are, right? For example, I don't accept that I'm short guy. I'm just joking, just for you guys to wake up. I wanted to be tall like Marcelo. That's in the back over there. No, I'm joking. So I just wanted to see you guys laughing, okay? Marcel is bold, so I so I don't want to show exactly. So I'm saying this because the body, the life that we have, the parent that we have, the situation that we need to be, even though sometimes we want to be in another situation, we need really to reflect upon why we are in that situation. It's not because of God. It's because we're in the process to learn, and we need to go to that situation, right? A trial, a test that we're gonna go through. I never heard anyone say, "Oh, that was a nice trial. It was a nice test." There is no such thing as a nice test. When you are in school, you go to the final test like shaking. You go, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen?" You sweaty. You don't know. You are not feel prepared, right? After the test, for those that has studied a lot, say, I think I'm gonna get a good grade. But even though we are still like, you don't know, right? You may feel like I'm 100% sure that I got everything right. And then when the grace comes, wow, I missed that. Because there is elements that we don't know, and we need to go through that, right? So, okay, gratitude allows a person to what? And then we have some bullet point here for us to reflect. So one of them is celebrate the present. Life could be a little bit harder, but guess what? We are alive. We're gonna have new opportunity. That situation pass. Or you go to a situation that, oh my God, that's very difficult. But then you do what? You look at around and you see, well, my situation is not so hard as that person. Or that situation that I watch, that case that I watch on TV, something. So when we put things in perspective, we may come to the conclusion that the present is very good, despite of hard feelings that or emotion that we may go through, right? Because we may take that experience in a positive way or negative way. In a positive way is that, okay, I need to go through this. Guess what? I will do the best. Or you can be rebellious against the creator. Guess what? The creators just look at you as we look at our little ones when they want a candy and we don't want it to give, and they're gonna cry. They're gonna give all those nice behavior, right? If you're at home, it's fine. But yesterday I was at Walmart, and I send a good vibration to the mother, right? Because I went through that process. For those that has kid, when you bring a kid to a toy store, but a toy section in a supermarket, you go like praying, right? You like going like giving that lecture, right? But this lady, I have to stop and send a good thought to her because she was feeling so bad because the little kid, it was a little girl, she wanted something in the store. And the mother tried to say, no, not now. And she threw a tantrum and she just threw herself on the floor. And I mean, like, you cannot do much, but at least like walk away and pray that the little girl, behave well. But she was pulling the cart, and the girl was like dragging. She was pulling the cart, and the little girl was holding the cart and was not even walk. She was be dragging on the floor and scream like very loud. So so why we say this? Because sometimes when we don't have what we want, we behave like that. Maybe not graphic like that way, but we send negative thoughts to everyone and to the universe, right? We barriers. The life is saying no, and we want to push because we wanted to have that immediate gratification or whatever we wanted to have, and life is not giving to us. So it's very important in people that is grateful, they have more tendency to be optimistic, right? Uh, Also, gratitude allows us to block toxic emotion, envy, resentment, regret, depression, right? And help us to be more stress resilient, social ties and self-worth. So it's very important that we we um, bring to our mind, especially during the moment that we feel suffering, two things. The first, that we are the intelligent being of the creation. So if we have a problem, we have elements that we can solve the problem, right? Second, we are child of God. We are child of God. There is, there is a force, there is a creator that created us, not our parent, right? Our parent was co-creator. And that force that we call God, he or she will eat whatever you want to, you know, he or she or it knows us, right? And so it's important that we bring this to our mind, especially in the moment that we are feeling that life has not been are not being fair with us. So we need to have this self-worth attitude. I'm a child of God, right? I'm the intelligent being of the creation. So I have all the elements that I will not, and the thing that we're not going to be stuck in that situation, right? So this is things that we need to remind ourselves in order for us to keep moving on, right? Science says gratitude is good for your health. And here we're going to bring back the professor, the psychologist, Robert Emmons. I think that's the way we pronounce his name. And this is very quick, because it's just like result of his research that he measured, physiologically speaking, that people that are grateful, it's low blood pressure with healthier heart rhythms, improve immune function, less inflammation, lower risk of many chronic disease, also promote better well-being, less depressed mood, less fatigue, and more efficient sleep. It combats stress hormone like cortisol, 23% lower in grateful people. Fighting each disorder, people who kept a gratitude journal has a reduced dietary fat intake, as much as 25% lower. Having a daily gratitude practice could actually reduce the effect of aging to the brain, combat neurodegeneration. But if you are still not feeling the love, experts says gratitude is something you can learn. So, and we highlight that gratitude is something you can learn. So if you feel that you're all upset with things, instead, let me send a little gratitude to the situation, even though it's hard for me to accept that. So that's the way we learn, right? So when we look our body, when we look evolution, so everything was learned. The best way to learn is through repetition. So maybe today I really don't want you to be thankful or grateful, but you make an effort to be. I wanted to say hi to that person in the elevator, my coworker that always throw me under the bus, right? But they say hi. And we are saying hi, until one day, the hi is like hi with a smile. The first hi is like, hi, good morning. And look at the other side. Until one day, we gonna, diminish that distance and work our emotion toward that person. Why, Daniel, we are saying this? Because that person is a child of God as well. So we are all brother and sister, right? So it is very important that we put this gratitude emotion every day in our life. Not only we are in a higher when we feel well about life, but also when we are down in our life. Let me see the time here. Okay, so we almost approaching the end of our. So This is something, Daniel, how we deal with ungrateful people, because also hurts. People that does not recognize our effort hurts, and we are not in a level of Jesus. And an example of Jesus, we see that Jesus didn't get upset with anything. Even when he was at the cross, he was still asking for the Father to forgive those that are putting him over there. So in this passage, in Luke 17, chapter 11 to 19, it is this situation that Jesus healed 10 lepers, but just one, this Samaritan, returned to give thanks. 1 out of 10. So we are talking here about 10%, right? So he heals 10, but just one went back to give thanks. And we see in the portrait over there, the other ones going away. And in this passage, at the end of this passage, I think this 17, Jesus asked the disciple, "Were not all 10 cleansed, like healed? Where are those? Where are the others 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except these foreigners?" So he say foreigner because the Samaritan in that time was not Jewish, was not considered part of the same family, right? Um, and then Jesus said, then he said to him, to the man, "Rise and go, your faith has made you well." So we can look at that part here as, the moment of gratitude of that single man healed him. Of course, when we look at all these people here, so sometimes we like to think about what is all those church that Paul sent the letter. What is all these people? Everybody died here, right? So we are not talking about the healing of the physical body, because we know we can postpone life, organic life, to a certain degree. We cannot live. Organic life is not made to live forever. It's temporary, right? So we can expand a little bit based on our lifestyle, right? But we are going to go to the other side. So all the healing that Jesus portrayed was the healing of the soul, of the spirit. Because it was the healing of the physical body, only all these people are still alive nowadays, and they are not, right? So we need to change our perspective about healing, because medication cures disease for a certain time. Just give a little bit more time in the physical body. But one day the physical body is not going to be here. I'm not going to be here. You're not going to be there. Unless you are immortal in the organic life, right? As a spirit we are, but not in the organic life. So we have a time. To finalize, there are 4 main reasons for ingratitude. So now we're going to look at the other side of the situation, when we do not express gratitude. And this is according to Buddhism. In this picture, we can read that gratitude can transform your life. So what is this 4 main reason that Buddhism raise about people that are not able yet to be grateful? Let's see it. The first one, fail to recognize a benefit as a benefit. E.g., well, I didn't ask to be born. So this is when we children, rebellious children, tell to the parent, I didn't ask to be born, right? So it is like a ingratitude approach, right? The other reason may be taking benefit for granted. Everything is due to me, for example, parent, teacher, even spiritual friends. So we put ourselves in a position that we just would like to receive, right? So we don't think yet. We are not in the process yet to be grateful for that situation. We think that, the government needs to protect me. Yes, at a certain degree, right? God gives to provide this. Yes, to a certain degree. But there is a homework that we all need to do it, right? And be grateful is one of them. Egoism. selfish, right? Um, Attitude of chronic individualism. The ungrateful ones think that they don't want or are obliged to others. Oh, don't owe or are obliged to others. So what means is that, you know, I just think about myself. You know, I'm not touch or worry about my neighborhood, about my friend. So it is that really moment that someone doesn't give any effort to help the community, or even when we doesn't make any effort to understand the other side, right? In a polarized society that we live right now, we see this more than ever because it's one side fight against another side, right? And we feel ourselves like, what's the right side? I mean, a true Christian, a true spiritist doesn't have side. Our only move is up, not left, not right, right? Because that's what Jesus came here and to give and to teach us. We are all brothers and sisters. We have our virtue, we have our vices, and we should do the best that we can in order for ourselves, our life, and our community to evolve. Daniel, but that's what you say, so beautiful, but that's not what happened out there. Yeah, that's true. But the same thing was happening in Jesus' time. And we are taking Jesus as a mother guide, but only when it's convenient for us to apply Jesus' teachings, right? But Jesus said, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar and a God what belongs to God. So it's important for us to remind ourselves about those teachings. And we are talking here in a spirit center, and we are take as a reference those books and the life of Jesus. So it's very important for us that call ourselves spiritist Christian to really, really think about the true means of these teachings. So when we take position in our life, we need to respond for ourselves, but also before the society, how we should behave out there, right? Also, sometimes the person is so out there that forgets to say thank you, right? And this happened to us, and we should recognize that we have going through this at least four main reasons. Sometime, as long as we don't make this as a habit in our life, because then we are not taking any benefit of those uh, example what happened to people that are grateful, right? So I'm almost done here. So and then a disclaimer here, because sometimes we think that we are grateful, we do everything right, but we still like not harbor the benefits of to be grateful. And that's why we have this, however, beyond a certain point of spiritual progress, it will be simple impossible to feel ungrateful. We're gonna reach a point that we are so grateful that we don't know how to be ungrateful, right? It's like, for example, it's like read. Once you learn to read, if you look at like a billboard, you even if you don't want, you're gonna read, right? If you look at here, if you don't want, you're gonna read because you cannot unlearn. I mean, you can forget if you have like, I'm not talking about mental illness or other type of disease, but once we learn something, we can not unlearn that, right? And that's what we are saying here, that once you reach a certain level of spiritual involvement, then it's almost impossible to have those negative behavior that we had when we are in the process. But until we reach this point, we are in danger of forgetting to be grateful. That's why we make the disclaimer that as long as we don't make this a habit, we forget. Sometimes we are in a hurry. Sometimes we have other priorities and we forget to be grateful, right? So to finalize this quote with this German theologian. I think some people say that he was a Catholic priest, but I couldn't verify that. He says something very interesting. And for us to finalize our reflection of tonight, if the only prayer you said was thank you, that would be enough. In another word, updating his code. If you be grateful for the life that you have, for the experience that you have, if all the problem that we have, that's already a prayer. And prayer is when we talk to God and when we keep silence, meditation, when we receive the answers, right? Sometimes we talk, only talk, we don't stop to receive the answer, right? So, guys, that's what look at this. Thank you over there. And we put this child because this child because when we look at children, and now I have a little one at home, and when she smile, I keep saying to my wife, I said, I can't believe it. Like, how come a smile of a baby that has no teeth is so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful because it's not the teeth; it's the expression of the face that is the key, the purity that they emanate, that stage, right? Because when become teenager, then it's different, right? But that's it. So I wanted to open for question. I don't know, Agnes, if you have any question over there. You can use the microphone to read the questions. Oh, here, yeah, let's go here first. Easy question. Be grateful if you do your questions with me, right? Wendell, be grateful.
I wouldn't be able to make a difficult question.
Okay, good.
So Daniel, thank you so much for helping us to prepare our prayers for next Thursday. So
Thank you.
my question is, if Joanna says something, or if you think that there is any relation between gratefulness and faith, because when we hear the word faith, the first things that comes to mind is believing and hoping. But when we remember the passage of the Samaritan who returns to say thank you, and what Joanna says about having to say thank you to God for the good things that happen, the bad things that don't happen, and also for the evil that happens because it's according to our necessity and to. So, do you think that is it possible to have faith without being grateful?
Very good question. Well, first we need to define what faith is. As someone that was in the scientific science, so we always need to give the definition. You ask a question, what is faith, and what is be grateful? Is the same thing? Question back to you. Do you think faith and be great is the same thing?
I think one depends on the other.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I think I agree with you. So faith is when we have the feeling of something, but we cannot verify that thing's there. So a great quote about faith is Martin Luther King when he says that faith is like walking a stairway in a dark environment because we don't know the next step, but we still walk, right? So he was referring to the civil situation back then in the 60s. So we, by when God creates us, he or she, we are created with elements that will blossom through virtues. So faith, charity is the mother of all virtue, right? We learn about this. But faith is one of that guide us to move on. Because if I don't have faith, we don't do anything. So an example, right now we are in this building. We are in the third floor of a building. So are you guys scared? You have the certainty that this build is not going to collapse, right? Because the professional that make this build make in a such way that we trust on that. So there is a degree of trust. So in terms of gratitude is an emotional expression that we, the spirit, express, right, to others. Okay, I'm grateful for this place. I'm grateful even for God. But faith is something that helps us to go close to the creator. So one go in a X, right? The other one go in a Y way. But both of them is important for us in terms of evolution. So they are correlated. So we may say like, okay, so I'm grateful, but I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything, but they still be grateful, right? In the sense that the person should do good things, right? There is this, we see a lot of this. But maybe the person did not get yet the true meaning of, you know, be faithful or to believe, because faith is so related to religion aspect that sometimes we say, oh, you know, I don't have faith, you know. So it's a good question, but I don't know exactly. But I think can correlate. The only way I can see is that one is more expression toward others in the case of gratitude, and toward, you know, how grateful you are to be alive, to be created. And faith is more personal toward us and the creator, I think. Okay, what else? I tried very hard. I did very good. Okay. Any other question? Yeah, you can read the comment. Also, you can put over there, right? Ooh, there is a lot of comments over there. You can put. Okay, let me see here. How are you doing over there?
From Paula, she's mentioning about the what gratefulness is, right? So being grateful. So gratefulness for all life experiences is an acquired skill, especially for the hard times, trusting that there is an important lesson to learn. It is said that the older we get, the more grateful we are.
I hope so. That's what expected. That was is expected. Yes. Thank you, Paulo, for your comment. And I think this answers a little bit your question about what you have asked. Thank you.
This one from Sarah.
That's my daughter.
Great talk. I loved getting my first phone. I was so grateful, and since I have gotten older, I have appreciated more things in life, and this was a great reminder.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your nice comment over there. No more cell
And
phone. Now you are an adult. You can get your own. Yeah.
we have Alba. When we asked it earlier, she said, I'm grateful for life itself, especially for the fact of experiencing this reincarnation.
Very good. I think that's her comment with regards to the, you know, that go beyond that other five, you know, based comment that we made.
Yeah, and one more from Paula just to close. This was she put earlier, but take responsibility and act responsibly. Constructive communication, acceptance of life's ups and downs, independent decision making with awareness of consequences, healthy
Very
boundaries.
important. Yes, yes. Very good. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, all the comment, Alba, Sarah. With that, any comment, any question here? If not, we will move on to our second part. And for those that are online, we are really grateful for you to. I'm gonna put.
Just one from Down Under. Hello, everyone from Down Under. Send you much love and hope all was well.
Oh, thank you so much. She's in Australia, right? I didn't see. Can you put it back again? Yeah, Heavy Horse. Yeah, she's a good friend of the SSB. A big hug for you. Leo had the pleasure to meet her when he went to Australia last year, and she has been following our Melanie. Yes, she has been following our talks here for almost a year now. Thank you so much for the comment. Okay, guys, for those that are online, thank you very much. I hope you have a great, happy Thanksgiving. Please take this moment to spend with friends and family and be grateful. I know that when we get together in family, drama may arise. So try to, even if there is drama, take that opportunity with with gratefulness, because there is a lot of people out there that would like to have those setting that we have. There are people that doesn't have family member anymore that give anything to be in that environment of dinner, lunch, Thanksgiving lunch, right? So make an effort to be grateful for the situation that you be, especially this week that we celebrate Thanksgiving, a very important date. But also let us not forget that our time here is temporary, right? So that whatever we do can impact our future. So with that, we're gonna go offline and continue with our passes here, our activity here. And thank you everyone that has been watching. And I hope I can see you next, not next Saturday because we're gonna be closed, but the followed one.